This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We welcome your calls, your comments, and your questions. If you'd like to join the conversation, I'm always open and ready to listen to you. You can call us right here in the studio at 347-857-3958. The number here again is 347-857-3958. Now, I'm all alone today. The Hughes part of Cruz and Hughes is not in the studio with us today. Irvis had a family emergency that he has to take care of, so our hearts go out to him while he goes through that. But nonetheless, we do have a great guest for you all today. We're going to be interviewing someone that's going to talk about cloud computing. Now, if most of you are like me, I am... I guess you could call it technology averse. I really don't know that much about technology. I only know how to send email, and I know how angry I get when my emails don't go out on time and that sort of thing. But it's always good to have someone who can talk to us about the technology aspect of what we do, because that is so important to maintain a level of relevance in the 21st century. And so we're happy to have our guest today, and our guest is Mr. Robert Chandler. Now, Robert is the CEO of a company called Cloud9 Real-Time Incorporated. Now, he is an acknowledged industry leader, published author, and leader in the cloud computing technology space. Now, he's the founder, president, and CEO of Cloud9 Real-Time, and they operate out of San Diego, California. And I want to say welcome to Cruz and Hughes, Robert.
Well, thank you for having us today, John. We're really excited about speaking about cloud computing and how we can help small businesses. Absolutely.
Now, before we get started, I got to ask you, now you're in San Diego. Now, I've never been to San Diego, but all of my friends who have tell me that it is absolutely the best weather in the United States.
Well, yes, no, definitely that's true. Today we kind of have cloudy weather, so I guess it goes with the show with the cloud computing, but I would say 90% out of the year we have sunny weather.
Really?
So we definitely we call it second paradise. The first paradise is Hawaii, of course.
And you guys are the second one. Well, the next time I'm in your area, I'll have to definitely look you up. But I've never been there, and everyone tells me, John, you got to get out to Southern Cal and experience that. So. But now tell me a little bit about cloud computing, because, you know, most people, we hear the reference, the cloud, they talk about it all the time, but many people don't understand exactly what does that mean. So what is cloud computing?
Well, just like you said today with email is actually in the cloud. So a lot of times people think about cloud computing, they might think about Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, but it's utilizing the internet to do business. Whether you're going to be utilizing email or accessing information such as online banking for your finances. But what our specialty and niche is taking businesses to the cloud. So the traditional way that businesses will go about managing an IT infrastructure is to have a server or a workstation managing information such as Microsoft Word and Excel and QuickBooks, those different types of applications. You have to manage an infrastructure, whether those softwares are installed on your desktop computer or your server infrastructure. You have to maintain that software. With the beauty of the cloud, you now just go to a login page, put in a username and password, and you can access any of your business applications in the cloud. So that's what Cloud9 Real-Time does, is we help take businesses to the cloud, and currently we support over 5,000 businesses in the cloud that have moved away from the traditional IT department and decided that it just makes sense because of the redundancy, the security, the cost by moving their business to the cloud.
Now, I know this goes without saying, but those 5,000 businesses that you have as clients, I'm certain that they're probably all over the United States or possibly even all over the world.
Yes, exactly. We're all in all 50 states in the United States, and we're actually in 18 different countries now. So the beauty of the cloud is you can access this information anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. One of the other benefits is you can share information with other associates. So just like your counterpart. Uh,
Irvin
is
Hughes.
is on vacation or on a fishing trip, he could log in and access information as well.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you mentioned was something like QuickBooks. So, as a small business person, I could put my QuickBooks on the cloud, and several people from my office nationwide could all have access to that information.
That is correct. Actually, my background is an accountant. So I started my own accounting firm back in 2000 and built a very large accounting practice nationwide to about 18, over to 500 clients in 18 different states. And one of the challenges that I found as an accountant is to communicate with business clients on a daily basis. So we were constantly sending information back and forth, making backup of information, sending things through email, which is not so secure, those type of things. And what we did is we created a portal where we could log in and access that QuickBooks file, as well as that business could access that information in a different location.
Wow. Now, we'd be remiss if we did not say something about this, but today is the anniversary of 9/11. And one of the things that I remember most about 9/11 is how difficult it was for businesses to get back online right after that happened. Now, and when I think about it, I was in the mortgage business at the time, and some of our larger banking systems or banking platforms were in New York. So when they went down, we weren't able to close and fund loans here. And then I also remember reading an article in Black Enterprise magazine that talked about a company that, had they not had any type of support or data that they kept off site, that they could have essentially been out of business for several months trying to rebuild that infrastructure. And one of the words that you said was redundancy. And I want you to talk a little bit about why that's so important.
Well, yes, no, definitely. And with us speaking today on 9/11, our hearts and prayers go out to those families that experience this. And thank you for the firemen and the police that serve our country. But yeah, redundancy is very important. In fact, the University of Boston came out with a study that said if a business loses their business information or financial information, then 60% of those businesses will go out of business. When you move to the cloud, one of the big benefits that you receive is the redundancy. And what I mean by that is your information's in different locations. So if we're in California, and California is known for earthquakes. Well, if there's an earthquake that took place in the state of California, your business would not be affected because the information is actually in a different location. In fact, last October, San Diego actually went without power for 36 hours, and I actually was interviewed by CNN News, and the breaking news story was the cloud did not collapse. And the reason why that was is because the cloud cannot go down because of this different redundancies throughout these certified data centers in the United States. So that's another great benefit by moving to the cloud, is you're going to have redundancies. Most businesses that have their IT at their business only has it in one location, and when you move to the cloud, you have your information in 4 or 5 different locations.
I'm reminded of Warren Buffett when he says that if you're the type of person that puts all of your eggs in one basket, the advice that he gives you is you better watch that basket. And being in business, I guess in the 21st century, it is sort of dangerous leaving or just trying to manage all of your data in one location. Because when you think about, like as you said, you have earthquakes there. You think about the Midwest and the fact that they have twisters. You think about what happened in Katrina in New Orleans. I mean, so if a business is 100% on the cloud, you can pretty much access your data, which means that you can open up an office and work from virtually anywhere.
Yeah, no, definitely. And one of the things, especially with small businesses, when you go into business, you have to set up that IT department and that accounting department, and it can be very costly. Most businesses run three different types of servers. That's an Exchange server, which is going to house their mail. Then they're running an application server. That's going to serve up the different applications, whether it's Word or Excel or Outlook or QuickBooks or inventory programs or CRM systems. And then the third type of server is a file server, which serves up those files for the application. So when you're going into business, you have to put in your budget, IT, computer cost. And that's one thing that you don't think about is when you set up that infrastructure in your local business, are you going to have the redundancies in place? And most businesses that we take from the IT traditional type of way that they're managing their business now to the cloud, we find out that they don't have those redundancies in place.
Wow. Well, you know what? And you're bringing up so many points that I could ask you so many questions on. We're going to go to break. But when we come back, I think we should lead off with what the cost is in terms of going to the cloud, because I know that most clients, that's probably their number one question. What does it cost me in terms of time? What does it cost me in terms of dollars if I were to make 100% commitment to the cloud? Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. Robert is the CEO and founder of a company called Cloud9 Real Time. If you'd like to reach out to Robert and learn more about his business, you can do so by going to his business website at www.cloud9realtime.com. That's cloud9realtime.com. Stay with us. Today's show is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. If you want to know more about what we do at Small Business Today magazine, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. More in a moment with Cruz and Hughes. See you in a second.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. As you can see, I'm alone today. There's no Hughes, but you do have Cruz in the studio. We have a guest on the phone with us, calling us from sunny California, although he says it's a little cloudy out there today. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. So if you're just joining in, this is a great time. Robert is the CEO and founder of a company called Cloud9 Real-Time Inc. And what Cloud9 does, it helps you convert your company to the cloud. And that's what we're doing. We're explaining what cloud computing is. Now, Robert, we went to break, and I said that I would come back and ask you in terms of cost. Give me an indication of where cost fits in as you work with your clients. I mean, how important is that to them, and what do you tell them?
Well, definitely. Well, first thing what we do is we like to get to know that business. So one of the questions that we ask of a business is, what types of applications are you utilizing for your business? So we hear a CRM system or an inventory system, Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, QuickBooks. So that's the first thing that we like to ask. The second question is, how many people are going to access the information? Where we find most small businesses is going to be probably anywhere from 5 to 10 users. And then the third question, which is important, is dealing with the history of the data. So how much information are you going to move to the cloud? And most businesses will move about 3 to 5 years of information to the cloud. And once we get that information, we put together a proposal discussing the actual cost. What we find the cost to be is about $400 a user per year. So when you break that down, it's about $35 per month per user to move to the cloud. And as you can see, that's pretty inexpensive compared to going out and developing an IT department and the infrastructure that we discussed, and starting your business up with different types of applications. The great thing about moving to the cloud as well is you no longer have to go down to Staples or Office Depot. A lot of software is now being sold as a service. Mm-hmm. So we now have the ability to lease licenses of software such as QuickBooks, Microsoft Word, Excel, and Exchange, and those type of softwares.
Now, let's say that you did take excuse me. Let's say that you did take one of those other applications and you used it in the cloud. Are you paying an additional license fee on top of the $35?
The $400 per year covers up to 3 different applications. When you add a fourth or fifth application, it's about $100 for all the users for each application. So, and what's nice about that is we also manage the updates, so you don't have to install updates on different workstations, because your laptop or your desktop computer becomes a dummy terminal. So if you can go out and buy a laptop computer today and be up and running with your business without even installing any type of software. One of the other nice benefits is if your laptop gets stolen, there's no information on that device. And so that's the beauty of the cloud, is all that information is accessible with a username and password.
Wow. Now when we think about the type of clients that you service, so this show is about small business. Give me an idea who some of your clients are, or what does the typical client look like for Cloud9?
So the typical client that we serve is the professional services. So it could be the landscaper to the attorney to the accountant. So anybody but providing professional services. We also service the retail business as well. So if you're selling items and you're using maybe the QuickBooks POS system, we can serve you. So the beauty of the cloud is it can go, you can have one user accessing the cloud up to 500 users accessing the cloud. So the ideal client that we are currently are serving is between the 10 and 25 users. But this is a great tool that accountants are utilizing today because they want to be in touch with those businesses. We have seen, as myself being an accounting professional, is if look to your accountant as being an advisor to you. And when you look at what took place in the last 3 or 4 years of our economy, is information was changing. Businesses were not succeeding, and accountants were not seeing that happen in real time. So the businesses were going to their accounting professionals after the fact, and letting them know that, hey, I'm not succeeding, I'm failing, business is slow, my receivables are coming in slow. Well, what's great about today's technology is you can, as that small business owner, you can give your accountant access to that information, and they can become that trusted business advisor, and they can definitely help you and give you the guidance that you need to be successful.
Now, in the first segment, we talked a little bit about the fact that today is 9/11, and we talked about redundancy and the fact that many of those companies that went down in the towers falling, if they had all of their data on site, you could essentially be out of business. Now, was the cloud around back then in 2001?
Well, the cloud actually started in 1960 from John McCarthy. He's
Wow.
the person that we actually go back and look at. But yes, the cloud. I've actually been a part of the cloud and developing technology since about 1995. At the time, I was working for a accounting practice in downtown San Diego, and we had a high end clientele that needed access to their information anytime, anywhere. And so at that time, we started developing the system. So I've been utilizing the cloud since 1995, but when you look at the history of it, it's been around since 1960.
Man, that's amazing. Now, most people want to know. I mean, yes, it does help me in the event that there's some natural disaster in my area, or it helps me so that if I have other employees that are in other areas of the country or the world, they can access data. But how safe is my information out there? I mean, we hear all the time about cell phone companies being hacked into. We hear about large banks being hacked into. How safe is my information out there on the cloud?
Well, when you access again, I'm just speaking, for a company like ours, but one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing business with an authorized managed service provider when it comes to the cloud, that they have the authorization to do what they're known for. So for like a company like ours, is you're accessing that information through encryption, a minimum 256-bit encryption. So when you're accessing that information and logging in, we make sure that things are secure. You don't have a password such as password 123. It's very secure passcode. If you input that passcode incorrect 3 times, it's going to lock your account down. Once you log into the portal, you have another username and password that you have to log in to access the financial information. So when it comes to financial documents and those type of things, they're secured with a second different username and password. So there's a lot of securities that take place. When you're accessing this information, in certified data centers throughout the United States. So things that we're watching for is intrusions on IP addresses and those type of things. And if we do see those things, we can remove that from the infrastructure right away. We've been around since 2000, and we have not had one security breach of data being compromised. So it's very important that you make sure that you're working with someone that's well known in the industry.
Well, and I think that's commendable that you can say you've been around that long and you've not had any issues. And that does, I think, help some business owners feel more comfortable because, you think in terms of how we've done business in the past, I feel more comfortable if I have my employee working in my office. And then now, there's a big push to let employees work remotely. And then you think about, well, I feel more comfortable if the file servers are in my office. And now there's cloud computing that makes us as a company much more reliable. We can work at a faster pace if we utilize the cloud. Now, we've said all these wonderful things about the cloud, but are there any cons to being in the cloud?
Well, I think the biggest con that we're probably looking at that is not talked about in the industry is bandwidth. And if you think about what took place on 9/11, which we all remember, is if we all went to the internet and decided the cloud was not going to be the place for us to have information, and we decided we were going to download all of our financial information back to our local computers, it can jam the waves. And so I think that's something that, definitely from a con standpoint is making sure that if you want to download your financial information, make sure that you're not downloading it in a situation such as a 9/11, because that will jam the lines. The good thing about the cloud is when you're working with well-known companies, if there's issues or the bandwidth does get tied up, companies are going to address these type of things. Just like yesterday, GoDaddy was down for over 4 hours and affected over 48 million domain names. But when you're dealing with the best in the industry, the cloud, these type of computing companies will find out where the issues are, and they will be able to resolve them.
Wow. And you're not saying that GoDaddy isn't one of the best companies for domains, though, are you?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're one of the largest in the industry.
Okay.
And when they have over 48 million domains that they manage, that's a lot of information. And when a company like that does have an issue, they're going to have the best people in the United States or in the world to deal with situations like that.
I got you. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. Robert is the CEO and founder of Cloud9 Real Time. And if you want to consider having your business taken to the cloud, Robert is definitely the guy you want to speak to. You can connect with Robert at www.cloud9realtime.com. That's cloud9realtime.com. We'll be back in just a moment. Today's episode is also brought to you by our good friends at Sales Nexus. If you need a good quality CRM that will help you in your sales process, you can go to salesnexus.com. More in a moment with Mr. Robert Chandler. Stay tuned.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why, it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan.
The storm's coming.
The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. Robert is the CEO and founder of a company called Cloud9 Real Time. And if you're considering taking your business to the cloud, you should definitely speak with Mr. Chandler or one of his associates. Robert, what's your telephone number out there if someone wanted to just call and ask some questions?
It's toll-free, 888-869-0076. Again, 888-869-0076. You can also email us at info, that's INFO, at cloud, the number 9, realtime.com.
Now, let me ask you, now, is the cloud right for every business, would you say?
That's a great question. If you're looking to build your business, I would say it's probably the right place to be. If you're, a small business, maybe doing less than, $10,000 in revenues a year, then probably maybe the cloud is not for your business. But if you're looking to build your business, build an infrastructure, when it comes to the IT infrastructure, then definitely the cloud is a great way to do business, because it's going to allow you to grow your business. You know exactly what your costs are going to be, and it creates the different redundancies, the security. Also, most businesses have to go out and they have to invest in the technology or research technology of what solutions that you should utilize for your business. And that's what we do, is we help businesses grow their business. So if they're looking for a CRM system or an inventory or document management system, we can give them recommendations of what we see that's going to best fit their business.
Wow. And, and as I think about that, those are needs that all small businesses do have. And so when you're assisting them in those areas, it really does make this something that's very scalable in terms of knowing, what your cost is for you to scale up, and you're able to do it economically.
No, definitely. And, that's one thing that we take pride in, especially myself being the president CEO, is finding out what small businesses, finding out what their dream. When you go into business, I found myself being a small business and still am today. There was all this information that I needed to manage, and technology to research and software to research, and finding a trusted business advisor as an accountant. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and that's why I feel that small businesses don't succeed, is because they don't have the network. And that's what the small business show does every day, is they introduce different people and different concepts to help businesses be successful.
Absolutely. Now you've been giving us quite an education on what the cloud is, and I didn't know that it had been around since the 1960s. But how many people would you say, in terms of small businesses, are actually utilizing the cloud? How much room for growth is there for your company?
Well, our company has grown over 400% the last 3 years. And we find that only about 5 to 7% of businesses are utilizing the cloud today.
Really?
With Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Apple and what Microsoft has done, I mean, the cloud is here to stay. There's over $482 billion that have been spent on cloud technology in the last 3 years. So it's one of the fastest growing industries. I mean, we see the commercials on TV every single day, and every time that Microsoft or Apple comes out with something new, the word cloud is in there. Before cloud, it was called ASP, or Application Software hosting, and the cloud is definitely here to stay, and we utilize it every day. If we're using Yahoo or Gmail, you're utilizing the cloud. You're using the internet, or Facebook or Twitter, you're utilizing the cloud. So when people say I'm not utilizing the cloud, you just ask them a couple simple questions like that, and we'll find out that they are utilizing the cloud.
They just may not know it.
Exactly.
Now, what does the acronym MSP mean?
MSP stands for Managed Service Provider. So a managed service provider has is gone through the certifications, the different types of audits, the audits from a financial standpoint, from security, making sure that there's service level agreements in place. And what I mean by a service level agreement is if the cloud does go down, what is the compensation to a small business because that service is not able to their business is not able to be online. So they go through, and it's an outside third party that does these certifications to making sure that you have disaster recovery plans in place and that you're going to be a cloud provider or an IT provider today, and you're also going to be here tomorrow.
Got you. Now, can you think of any instances where the cloud has actually gone down?
Well, not to a certain extent. I know that Amazon had an outage last year, and we've seen that GoDaddy, which serves up the domains. So when you put in, www dot whatever, if you were utilizing GoDaddy, the cloud was not down, but the name server of serving up that website might have been down. That's what we saw yesterday. But if the cloud goes down, in what we have seen, it usually comes up really quickly. One of the main things that when you're utilizing the cloud that you need to make sure that you have is an internet connection. And so one of the things I suggest is if you're a small business is making sure you have redundancies from internet connection in your office. A lot of businesses might have DSL or cable or T1 lines, but having a broadband card, such as I run around, I have a MiFi Verizon card that I have, and 5 people can utilize that as a hotspot. So you want to make sure you have those redundancies in place. But, definitely the Internet's a big play of the cloud and big play of businesses. Like today, we're utilizing the Internet to do this talk show.
Right. Absolutely. Now, you said that generally a business is going to put somewhere between 3 and 5 years of information. They're going to convert that much information or data to the cloud once they come on board. How long does that normally take? I mean, if I wanted to take my business and be 100% on the cloud, what type of time frame should I anticipate?
You're looking about a 7 to 10 days process. We can move a lot faster than that. But one of the things that we want to make sure is we want to design the cloud technology or the service the way that your business is going to utilize it. When you're moving historical data, if it's more than 100 gigabytes, we're going to probably give you a address to overnight that data to, and then at that time we could take that information and plug it into the server and transfer the information that way compared to trying to send 100 gigabytes of information. So I would anticipate about 7 to 10 business days to get your business up and running. But if you want to move to the cloud, in 1 to 2 days, we can definitely do that. It's just we need to make sure that you have your information ready and that you're going to be assigned a project team member that's going to walk you through the process of moving your business to the cloud.
Now, what exactly is a virtual server? When I hear that word, explain to me what that is.
Well, a virtual server is you're accessing a server virtually anytime, anywhere. But what a virtual server allows us to do is it allows us to duplicate that server in different locations. And so it's virtualized. It's not in your office. You're not touching it. You're not walking in to into a room where maybe the janitor has access to. So it's virtually in a data center throughout the United States. One of the things that I just got done being published in a book called Together in the Cloud. And you can actually find out more information about that book at robertjchandler.com. And one of the stories that I talk about is there was an accounting professional up in the Los Angeles area, and she went to actually do the bookkeeping for the top 500 accountants, top 500 attorneys in the Los Angeles area. At the end of her assignment, she made a backup of all the information that she was working on for that day on a USB drive. She put it in her purse, and later that night, she went to the movies with her girlfriend, and she asked her girlfriend to watch her purse. Well, when she came back, the purse was gone, and inside that purse was the top 500 lawyers' financial information on that USB drive. So the question is do you tell the attorneys? And the answer is yes. You tell the attorneys, and then I'll see you at the bridge. And the bridge I'm talking about is Coronado Bridge in San Diego, because when you jump from that bridge, you're not going to survive. But that's how people manage. That's how people manage financial information. They manage it on their laptop computer. They manage it with these USB devices that are portable. And there's so much sensitive information on those devices that you want to make sure that if you're managing information on those devices, they're secure with passwords and those type of things. So if information does get stolen, people are not going to be able to retrieve that.
Wow, and you think about, and that's the way that most people do business. I mean, they carry that sensitive information around, and we really don't think about it until at the time of their, that we experience a loss. Somebody breaks in and steals a laptop, or a PC becomes corrupted or damaged, and at that moment, then that's when we have that aha moment where we think, you know what, there's got to be a better way than this. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. He is the CEO of a company called Cloud9 Real Time, which is located in San Diego, California. If you'd like to reach out to Robert and see what his business can do for yours, you can go to www.cloud9realtime.com. More in a moment with Mr. Robert Chandler. Stay with us. Don't go away. We'll be back in a second.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? Costumes are kidding. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Robert Chandler. Robert is the CEO of Cloud9 Real Time. His business is about taking your business to the cloud. If you'd like to reach out and touch Robert, you can do so through his business website at www.cloud9realtime.com. That's cloud9realtime.com. You could also call his business office toll free at 888-869-0076. Now, Robert, you mentioned your book, and your book is called Together in the Cloud, which is an informative how-to guide that offers readers insight on how businesses can implement and utilize cloud technologies in order to bridge that gap between users, applications, and IT. Now, is the book written from a story standpoint where you tell other stories about people who should have been in the cloud but weren't at the time?
Well, definitely the book is about stories. There's actually 3 different stories in the book, but one of the things that I did with the book is the subheading is the easy and convenience of cloud computing. And the reason for that is I wanted to educate small businesses about moving to the cloud. What questions should they ask a cloud computing company? How long does it take to implement? What are the things that I need to know, from the pros and to the cons? So I guess you could say it's dummy 101 for cloud computing and for business owners, of educating information to get their business ready to move to the cloud.
Now, where can people find the book? I know that you mentioned that they can go to your website, robertjchandler.com.
Yes, if they go to robertjchandler.com, each book that's sold through that site, you will actually receive a personalized signature of the book. That's still available until the end of this month, but you can read some excerpts and learn more information regarding cloud computing.
Now, tell me this. Now, you said that you were trained as a CPA, correct? Or an accountant?
No, I'm an accountant.
An accountant.
I've been a QuickBooks Pro advisor since 1999.
Now, how did you make the leap to being basically a technology company?
Well, after I built a solid business from 2000 to 2005, I started being approached by accountants, CPAs, and says, Robert, what's going on there over at your company? I hear so many great stories from small businesses, and some of my clients have left my practice to move over to your company. What are you doing over there? And I shared with them, I'm taking small business information and moving it to the cloud so I can be that business trusted advisor to help them manage their accounts receivable, manage their accounts payable, educate them on what an income and a profit loss statement and a balance sheet is, and bringing all this information together. And so after that, after maybe 10 of those different types of phone calls, I started sitting down with some of the industry leaders and letting them know of the technology. And at that time, I decided I really wanted to help the accounting professionals as well as the businesses with their business, and in return utilizing technology. So at that time, I sold my accounting professional and went into accounting technology full time in 2006.
Wow. No, I have to ask. I mean, because you're a small business person, you know what it's like to be an entrepreneur and trying to grow a business and going through the rigors of management and putting systems in place. How was business when you first started?
Well, when I first started the business, my whole concept was let's move all businesses, let's move all accounting professionals to the cloud. And this is back in early 2000. And one of the things that we found out back then is a couple of challenges. Number one, what are you trying to teach? How long have you been in business? The internet was slow. It was expensive back then. So I kind of just put my head down and found out how I could help small businesses, and that was being an accounting professional and making sure they set up their accounting department the right way. And then as I was successful doing that, I found that I had another business that was a spinoff of the accounting business because of that, and woke up one day and had 18 accounting professionals working for myself, and I just knew I could not reach the masses when it comes to technology, and so that's why I decided to sell my accounting firm.
And you devoted 100% of your time to growing Cloud9.
That is correct, and we've been doing it. We started with one client, now we're over 5,000 businesses in the cloud today.
How do you market your business? How do you find clients?
Well, we do a lot of public speaking and social media, email marketing, just getting our name out there and educating the small business community of what they need to do to be successful in moving their business to the cloud. So I would just say it's the funnel theory where we just put a lot of efforts in a lot of different directions, and at the end of the day, we find our business being successful, and other businesses telling their other businesses about what they're utilizing from their business to be successful in the cloud.
Now, you have some people out there who are in this day and age running a small business that have not given in to how beneficial social media can be. You have some companies that, just barely even have websites. What are your thoughts on someone who feels that cloud computing is just a fad? It's not something that's going to last. It's safer to keep your data on site at all times.
Well, just sit down and kind of do, a comparison. Write the pros and the cons of how you're managing data today compared to cloud. When you do that, what happens? My question is what happens if your hard drive crashes? What happens if your laptop computer gets stolen? What happens when technology advances and now you have to go out and make an investment in new technology? Most small to medium-sized businesses from 1 to 10, we know that they outsource their IT. From 11 to 25, they hire one individual. Well, what happens is if you need help on a Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning and your IT professional or that outside contractor is on a cruise ship and you cannot reach them, your whole business stops.
Wow.
By moving to the cloud, you have access to a company like ours 24/7, 365 days, where we're going to be able to help you with your business from a username and password to printing to installing updates, recommending the right softwares for your businesses, those type of things.
And then I can't stress enough how economical the service is. I mean, you get so much in terms of service, and to me, the trade-off in price is just it's just amazing how cheap it really is.
No, definitely. When you look at these type of comparisons that we're talking about, you're looking about 40 to 70% in cost savings. Well, a business that's spending $100,000, and this might be a medium to large business on IT, when you're spending that type of money, and you're talking 40 to 70% savings, that's $40,000 to $70,000 worth of savings. And so when we're in an economy, we're looking to cut back on cost and also utilize the best technology on the market today. Cloud computing is definitely something you should take a look at because it's going to be here for a long time.
Our guest today has been Mr. Robert Chandler. He is the CEO of Cloud9 Real Time. If you want to get your business on the cloud, and if you need more information on doing so, you can go to his website, which is www.cloud realtime.com. You can also reach Robert by phone at 888-869-0076. Get a copy of his book. You can go to robertjchandler.com. The name of the book is Together in the Cloud. Robert, I appreciate you so much for coming on the air and talking about cloud computing as well as your business. I wish you much luck in the future.
Well, thanks a lot for Cruz and Hughes for having us. We look forward to working with you, and we'll see you in the clouds.
Absolutely, sir. Take care.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Captain Dracula. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We want to thank our guest, Mr. Robert Chandler, for coming on today and talking about cloud computing. I can't stress enough how important it is to constantly question yourself in terms of how you run your business. Even though you may have something that's moving very efficiently, you may be doing well in your business in terms of making good money, but you always want to question your processes. Is there a way that we can become cheaper, faster, or safer? Because if you're able to accomplish that, that in and of itself makes you more efficient. And I think Robert's company is one of those companies that definitely want to consider if you think the cloud is right for you. And, you know, as I think about how much time I've spent setting up servers and managing data, and then hiring people to stay on top of that. You think about how economical it is to take a company like Roberts, and it does just that for you. You become cheaper, you become faster, you become safer, and you don't have to go through all of the technology rigmarole, for lack of a better term, in managing servers and making certain that your connections are right and having a staff that does all of that. Robert sort of steps in and takes the place of that, and I think that you should definitely give him a consideration or give him a try if you're considering moving to the cloud. Now, Irv isn't here today. I'm going to close the show out on my own. I don't have my partner to lean on today, but he'll be back quite possibly on tomorrow. We have some other guests that are lined up for you. We want to make certain that you guys stay tuned to what we do here, because what we do for you. This is the place where you come for business strategy. We don't talk about news here. We don't talk about what other large corporations are doing. We try to bring you innovative stories, ideas, and companies that can help you as you move your business along and do your best to grow your footprint. I want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today. I've been your host, John Cruz. This show is called Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Small Business Today magazine and Sales Nexus. So the next time that you want to get a magazine that talks about strategy, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. Until tomorrow, I want you to be smart, be successful, and above all else, be in action. And Irv and I will see you very soon. Take care.